Perfect, thank you, thank you. Thanks everybody. So I'm Dan, and I'm really honored to be here, and I'm going to talk about what's broken in K-12, and computer science in K-12, and what we can do to fix it, and how you can play a part in that. So how many of you have heard of code.org? Wow, not everybody. So I'm going to play the 1-minute video, and you'll all want to know about it. So let me jump on that, okay? Code.org, 6017, so if you can hit lights out, there you go. And
here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program that played tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to the tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
all right, great start. So that was code.org, an advocacy campaign to try to encourage schools to get their act together, parents to advocate for computer science in their high schools, so parents to push it from a grassroots model. And you can sign up and be active, and now there are almost 750,000 people who have signed up to try to be part of this movement. So President Obama, for the first time, mentioned computer science in any public address. He was at and since then he's done it more and more, but this is the first moment that we've ever heard from top down. If we were in China and we said, Department of Education says, computer science is important, it happens tomorrow. But because you've got 50 different states and 50 different deals, and so it's hard to make a change, and a systemic change in high schools. So President Obama said, I think that made sense, I really do. I want to make sure young people know how to produce stuff and not just consume stuff. If Steve Jobs, may he rest in peace, had his way, we'd all just be consumers. We'd sit back on a couch and just consume media and swipe and enjoy. But I believe that many people who do Scratch, which is, how many of you know about Scratch? It's a programming language for kids. They believe in having a nation of tinkerers, a world of tinkerers, where we're building things, not just passively consuming them. So, the 3 biggest challenges in our future are as follows. Underrepresentation, so underproduction, we're not producing enough people who can do that. That's what the video is about a little bit. Underrepresentation, we don't look like the rest of the country, and lack of presence in K-12. And the reason for the third one is that if you're in K-12, you might make career choices when you actually aren't making informed career choices about what you can do. So, underproduction. This is the number, the green, this is about the Department of Labor Statistics. The green column says that there are 88,000 annual degrees earned in computer science and 144,000 jobs available per year. See that big gap? You know the big gap? What's that giant sucking sound? Anybody hear it? What is that saying? Who's filling those gaps? Foreign workers, which is fine. This is kind of a US-centric thing, but maybe the world was flat, but that's okay. But also they're being filled by people in physics and math who Google has determined A is smart, and they're going to try to hire to fill those gaps because we're not going to hire well-trained CS people, so they're going to train them themselves. Okay? And they're great jobs. This is CNN Money, who's telling us that on the list of all the greatest jobs, the ones in red are computing related. Bam. Okay, so there are awesome jobs out there, and they need you. Yet the student interest is low. This is the AP exam test taking in STEM from 1997 to roughly about the present. And everything is growing with population. Everything's going up. Calculus is going up. Bio is going up. Which one is the flat one? Anybody see the flat one there? Computer science. Hasn't changed in almost 20 years. Okay? Terrible. Maybe this is, 10 years or so, 15 years. And compared to population, it's going down. Right? Because all the population is growing like that. And the student interest at the undergraduate space is low. The percent of people intending to major in computer science boomed at the PC era in the 80s, boomed at the .com, obviously bust here, right? Here's the bust, the .com bubble, and bust We're at almost the lowest numbers we've seen. Now, it's coming up in some places, but it's not as high as it needs to be, as you saw from the first Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers, right? We need to have more people doing this stuff. So, pink. How about underrepresentation? The first one, underproduction. How about underrepresentation? What do you think? CS is the most gender skewed in the wrong way, right? We need to have more women in this field. AP exam in, let's wait for it, the history of the AP. The history of the AP. Of all the years of the AP, times all the possible exams, that number is the worst ever. That's ethnically, that's gender-wise. How about ethnically? The population of the US is growing more and more diverse every day, you know that. Almost 30% of the US population is underrepresented minorities, yet only 3% of PhDs, 4% of masters, and 10% undergraduate are underrepresented minorities. So it's certainly underrepresented in terms of what the population look like, right? It's not all diverse as it should be. The consensus is Jan Cooney, a leader in NSF, National Science Foundation, who says the way you fix this is go to high schools. You can't fix it in middle schools because if you leave it out in high schools, they get excited in middle school, woohoo! And then nothing's in high school, and then the excitement goes away because they don't see a career path. So you got to start in high school. You can't wait till college. We can't keep reorganizing the deck chairs of the Titanic, because, i.e. fixing our intro courses at the university level, which we're doing for CS10, and here many people are doing it at the universities, because people don't even take your courses. They decide that computer science is not for them, because what they know about computer science is ill-informed. They don't even go see, they don't even visit you in those classrooms to see how awesome the stuff you're doing is. How many people think CS10 is awesome? See? They don't even go there, because they didn't know that. They didn't even know that, they don't know about it, okay? So, Stuck in the Shallow End talks about an analogy that Jane Margolis, a social science researcher at UCLA, did, comparing the horrific rate of drownings with African Americans. Why are kids who are 18 years old, who are African American, dying at a rate 4 or 5 times that of white and Asian kids? Because they don't have access to pools. They don't have access to pools in general, just in general, this is an aggregate, right? Then you're not learning how to swim. And you get to be 18, you go on a boating trip, you fall over, and you die. Okay? Why isn't the Asian and the white kid dying? Because they had access to pools, they lived in the suburbs, whatever, right? You look at the urban, suburban, but whatever. The point is, we gotta get access to pools to fix that problem, and she makes the analogy that computer science is the same thing. You don't have access to it in high school, so you don't even know about it. So come career time, you don't choose it. You die in the pool, and you also don't choose it for a career. To make a complete connection with that. So how do we fix? How do we fix it in high schools? How do we teach people to swim, right? We introduce them to an awesome, rigorous course. But we can't fix high schools. It's 50 different fights. Every state gets to choose what they determine is computer science for them. We can't fight that fight 50 different times. How do you do the kind of China model? You change in one place and it changes everywhere. Advanced placement. You make an AP exam and everyone has to follow that model. It's the only way to change all the states at once. So bam, we have now a new course called CS Principles, Computer Science Principles, whose goal it is to transform K-12 CS in a way that giving a course that everyone could take. The current computer science course is the course for majors. It was modeled after the first course for majors. So that you could be in high school and take the first course for majors, you get to college and you get that first credit and you jump to the second course for majors, right? But how many people want to choose to be majors? A small percentage, right? So the numbers are flat. So, and the course is all about programming. It isn't about what you can do with computing. You want to learn what you can do with computing, not just program the whole time. It's a false perception of what CS is. So the current CS is broken as the first introduction to computing. The first course should be a broad course that you do some programming, sure, because that's how you ground it, that's how you make it interesting. But the way you make it awesome is you take this course and show them what you can do, how you can change the world with computer science, how it's an awesome thing, how everyone needs it, how every field is being transformed by computer science. Someone name a field and tell me it's not being transformed by computing right now. Go ahead. Anybody. Silence. There is no field. Big data is affecting everybody, right? So, one course. But who's going to bell the cat? You heard that connection? Who's going to make it happen? This is going to make it happen. The CS10K, but you can't just have, let's make a new course. Ready? Go. Crickets. You gotta have motion. You gotta train teachers in this new course. You can't just say go, okay? So, the CS10K project that I've been part of since the beginning is a project in 10,000 high schools. Right now there are 23,000 high schools in the United States. You know how many of them have an AP certified CS teacher? 2,000. 1 in 12. Okay? 1 in 12. How many of you had, raise your hand, if you had at your high school an AP CS class you could have taken? Raise your hand. You came from pretty good schools then. Because 1 in 12 of you on average should be raising your hand. Okay? So, we get this into every high school. Now, we're starting small. We shouldn't be starting by 23,000, but 10,000. You get it there, now you're in, roughly 1 in 3. Okay? 10,000 well-prepared teachers. Okay? So, the College Board, when making a new course, they choose some university pilots, some exemplar university courses that might be what this high school course should look like. As it starts up there, it kind of brings back. So you're looking at the non-majors course across the country. And they said, let's look at the template of who's out there doing innovative, amazing things. Oh, I don't know, Berkeley. So, enter UC Berkeley CS10, the beauty and joy of computing. Here's our logo, beauty and joy of computing. Tell this is the most awesome. Bam, okay? Knocked out of the park. So, we got some grants to do this, we got some awards for doing it, everybody's happy, okay? And that's that, National Science Foundation said, we would love to train these teachers in this course. They gave us $1.5 million to go around and train high school teachers in this course. And we're doing it right now. We're doing it this summer and last summer and the summer before. And here's the history of UC Berkeley's, of the number of students, and you guys who are in the room are part of CS10's family are here, okay? You guys are awesome. So, in one slide, you don't have to read everything here, this slide, this is just an old set of slides I have. But the big idea is that you're learning computing, and you're learning the big ideas of particularly programming. You're actually doing some stuff. That's awesome. And you're learning the big ideas of computing, which are apps that change the world, social implications of computing, saving the world with computing. We have some guest lecturers from Twitter, from Pandora, two very hip companies out in the Bay Area, cloud computing, limits of computing, awesome stuff. As well as research summaries. The two hottest areas in CS that connect to a non-major are AI, self-driving cars, Siri, talking to your phone, having things happen, Google Glass, having things be able to automatically happen, and HCI, the new, you go to the Wii, and you go, and all of a sudden, something happens, and you go, and something happens. And you go, hey, look, 2 minutes, something happens, right? It's really cool. So all that is HCI and new HCI, it's great stuff. We also demystify some technology, we tell them how video games work, and 3D graphics, and some other stuff right there. So, we were looking at, we have to grab this. You can't just have a course about computing and just read about it from like a fishbowl. Oh, it's in there. They can do it, not me. No, it's about empowering people to know that you can do it too. So we were looking around the world, and what language do we choose? Do we choose a text-based language, in which most people across the country are still typing in their first intro courses, including for non-majors, and guess what? They're getting a typo, they're trying to say else, they put 2 L's in there, and it doesn't work. And they're frustrated. They say, why do I have to do computing? It stinks. So we're looking at block-based language, where you drag blocks around and teach you how to do this stuff. And Scratch had this community of 3 million projects created by people around the world, and Scratch was awesome. But Scratch was designed for middle school kids, 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds. You couldn't do real computer science because it has a couple things you needed to have that we wanted. So, we came in and we made something called BYOB, Build Your Own Blocks. And we actually made it, there's a new version called Snap in the browser. I'm going to show you the greatest project in BYOB of all time. If you hit the lights, if you could. This is called Magic Machine. It was written by 3 students who had never programmed before my course, all 3 of them. And they came in, they said, you know what, we're going to let you choose projects that interest you. Not that I tell you to do it, because tic-tac-toe is what I think is easy to grade. No, because it's interesting to you, you can choose any project. They were music majors, they wanted to build this thing. So they built this thing called Magic Machine. Let's show you how it works. And this is the interface. You drag blocks across to make this thing work, okay? Here's this, full screen. And now as I can click here. This is incredible. Every time I play this, I create a new sound. It's called generative software, where every time you try it, something new happens. It's not the same old, same old. It's incredible. 3 students in 3 weeks built this. Okay? This is unbelievable, and it's all thanks to standing on the shoulders of giants, because they have Mini built in and animation built into Scratch, and we're inheriting from Scratch's code base because it was open source. It's awesome. So, we then take it and put it in the browser. Here's this wonderful thing in the browser here. Okay, and here's this. Take a look at this. And in my bag, I put my phone, and I'm going to show you how, because in the browser, you say, oh, I don't know, here's a phone, randomly. I'm going to take it to a random page, and oh, wait. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Right there is a mobile app of the same thing you're seeing running here, running on my phone. On any iOS device, you can run this. People say, oh, let's take a mobile apps class. No, just put HTML5. Anything you build on the computer, you can build on your smartphone. Bam. Bam. Okay? Pretty cool stuff. So Snap is awesome, BYOB is awesome, okay? Thank you. So here's some testimonials from people at Berkeley who said this thing changed their life. Anyone remotely interested in computer science should take it? If I had taken this class earlier, I would have changed to CS. I mean, this is just 2 students, right? Yeah? Well, I've got 17 other people who said to me, Dan, I need to tell you something after the final exam. It was a hard final exam, by the way. And they tugged at my shirt and they said, Dan, I have to talk to you about something. And I said, what is it? You need an incomplete? Are you okay? What happened? No. Can I tell you privately? Sure. I go outside and I say, Dan, this course changed my life. I said, can I put that on film? And they said, sure. And so I filmed them with my just iPhone sitting in 2050 VLSB. 16 people who independently said, I gotta tell you something. Not that I said, anybody who wants to tell me you like it, come talk to me. I can't. No, it was quiet. No one else heard that. It was like a little private thing. I said, okay, we'll go outside. And then someone else came up and said, Dan, I gotta tell you something. This course changed my life. Over and over and over. And look at the demographics. It's awesome. This course is really awesome. Now you say, well, okay, they like it, but how well are they doing? This is the old course in computing we used to have, which wasn't this kind of broad focus thing. It was about skiing, which we loved. This is the new course, and it's me teaching all 4 versions. I've been here at Berkeley for a long time. The green percentage of women, so it went up from 30% to like mid-40s. We're getting to almost 50. We're getting to almost parity. It's awesome. And here's how well the top women are doing. If I just take the top 22 people, because that's what's good on this sheet, I just look at my spreadsheet, I say top 22. If I make a chocolate milk, and it's, let's see, 35% women, and I take the top percentage, should be 35% top, right? Should be the same percentage as the whole group, right? No, it's like 22% women. They're not doing well compared to the class, compared to the percentage. But once we go to this CS10, look how they're doing. They're blowing the guys away. They're blowing the guys away. Okay? Look at this average, 3.0 versus 2.87. It's a whole plus minus GPA number. I'm better than the guys. Why? There's a lot of reading and writing in this course, and that factors into the grade, and they're better than we are. So in summary, I know you gave it a 2-minute thing. This means keep going, right? This means keep going, right? Okay. In summary, high school CS is in trouble, but we have a plan to fix it. The plan is the CS Principles course, the Beauty and Joy of Computing instantiation of it, our NSF-funded professional development for high school teachers, and we're going to build an edX course. edX is part of the MOOC family, massive open online courses. Have we heard MOOCs before? The tsunami of MOOCs, right? It's on every New York Times blog, it seems. So edX has a vision, and I'm part of edX now because edX partnered with MIT and Harvard. Guess who the first partner was? Oh no, UC Berkeley. Thank you very much. They since partnered with UTexas and Wellesley and other folks are there. So edX has a vision for SPOC, small private online course. We build this MOOC, but it's not for 10,000. I build a big course, the materials are out there. But you sign up as a high school teacher with your 10 students, and you say, I'm the teacher, here's my 10 students, and all you see is the result of your 10 students. You live in a small little island. Even though you're taking resources from the big MOOC, you're in a small island. And our vision is, we're going to build the AP Principles edX MOOC, and then give it away as a spot to everybody, and every one of those 10,000 teachers could use our materials, which has been shown so successful. So, APCS is the future. The way you help, go to code.org and advocate. Everybody here came from a high school. Go back to your high school and say, hey, there's no real CS being taught here. I just went to this inspiring talk. Let's make it happen. Hey, everybody, come on, let's go. We will not sing songs, and you go in arm in arm, and you transform high school computer science one high school at a time. Okay? So let's all make it happen. Yeah? Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.